Broadcasting to you live from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, this is TBC News, our top stories tonight. Lake Victoria Water Project inaugurated in Shinyanga. Tanzania and India vows to continue to strengthen bilateral trade. Good evening, I am Kefa Igilo. You can follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBConline, and get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter pages at TBConline. Vice President Dr. Philip Mpango has directed Ministry for Water and Water Basin authorities to take action to those who are still diverting water from the rivers. He insists the practice endangers the existence of the river. Dr. Mpango was laying the foundation of stone of the Lake Victoria Water Project in Shinyanga region. The project worth more than 24.4 billion shillings. Here, it's a report prepared by Nathan Dekia, read by Yapasia Ringo.
Speaking to the Tinder Town residents, the Vice President, Dr. Philip Mpango, directs the Ministry of Water and the Water Basin authorities to monitor the areas where water is diverted from the rivers.
They redirect water from our rivers illegally, or those who have done this should destroy the barriers they built. They should also realize that everyone needs water services and not just themselves. The Ministry of Water should work on this.
And here the Vice President, Dr. Mpango, instructs the National Environment Management Council, NEMC, to conduct regular inspections of waste ponds in the mine.
There once was a problem of water pollution here. The facility in which the poisonous waste was being disposed had a breakage. This forced some citizens to be given shelter at the mines. I want to use this platform to remind the inspectors in Shinyanga and other regions with minerals, and also NEMC, you should not just be confined in your offices.
The water project, upon completion 3 months from now, will generate more than 1 million liters per day.
Honorable Vice President, I promise you that this water project will take 3 months. Tindi residents will start using this water.
Residents and political leaders thank the government for the water project.
Might be the first constituency to have access to water from Lake Victoria in all its 126 villages.
In
the past, we used to buy water. 1 gallon was sold for 500 Tanzanian shillings. After this project is complete, even our children will have access to water.
Vice President Dr. Philip Mpango concludes his 3-day visit to Shinyanga region today.
Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa says in the financial year 2021-2022, at least 630 new investment projects valued $3.68 billion originating from Indian companies have been registered at Tanzania Investment Center, TIC. He said the investments are due to various efforts done by the government to attract more investors from India to the country. Here are more details.
Majaliwa met the Indian Parliament delegation led by the Speaker of the Indian Parliament, Om Birla. Prime Minister meets the delegation on behalf of the President, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan. The big issue here is the commercial and economic relations between these two nations that have been historical friends. Statistics show that India takes 3rd place in trade partnership, attracting $4.58 billion for the year 2021-2022. The Prime Minister assures the Speaker that Tanzania is willing to develop long-term cooperation and promote areas of economy, energy, water, education, health, business and technology. Majaliwa says the arrival of the Speaker and the delegation will increase the cooperation between the Parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania and the Parliament of India, allowing the parliamentarians to share experiences. For his part, the Speaker of the Indian Parliament, Ombila, says the Indian Parliament will foster the cooperation between Tanzania and India so that these countries continue to benefit from the existing cooperation. Speaker Bila and his delegation are on a 3-day visit in Tanzania, and among other things, they will visit various tourist areas in the country.
On to the next one. The government, in collaboration with China, is to start the construction of a wholesale center in Dar es Salaam that will enable Tanzanian and East African business community to buy and sell the products in the retail market. Here, it's a report prepared by Henry Mabumo and read by Faida Ngaga.
Speaking to journalists after visiting the construction site, the Ubungo District Commissioner, Harry James, says the project is designed very strategically to reduce the cost of doing business amongst the people of East African countries, including the local business community.
First of all, we thank the government for the commitment of ensuring that this project starts. As we all know, it has been delayed for almost 10 years. And so the government under the President, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, has made a decision to make sure that this project comes to a start. And so the project will start this month, of which it will be tomorrow, and it will take 10 months to its establishment. And after then, we'll have to start seeing the business coming to existence and the benefits that have been targeted come to exercise. So what we want to put forward is the commitment of the government to make sure that the project goes well from the point of construction to the point of the business starting. I want to give an assurance to the people of Ubungo and the rest of the stakeholders in Dar es Salaam and East Africa that we as the government, we are committed to make sure that this project comes to the best of its targets. And for East Africa, having such a kind of project like as it has been well mentioned, as an East African commercial and logistics center, whereby the people from Uganda, the people from Rwanda, Burundi, and the rest of the members of East Africa will now have to come here and to do business together with us.
The director of East Africa Commercial and Logistics Center, EACLC, Catherine Wang, says the construction will take 10 months, and after completion, the local market and local business people, especially small-scale traders, will be considered.
We are considering the local market and the local business people, especially the machingas. So we are thinking about in the future after the operation, because this BRT buses is running from early morning until night in the 11 o'clock. We are thinking about we will utilize this big ground. So during the evening time, we can open an evening market for the machingas. So we can provide the spaces and they can start their business in the ground space. And while the people from the BRT buses, they are moving, the people flow, a lot of people, they are passing by, and after their businesses, they can just easily go back to their home. Excavation need to take 10 months for the structures to be ready. So the whole structure of this building is going to be ready. People will see the big project. And after that, we'll need a few months for the finishing part, for the walls and for the AC, for everything inside. So it will start operation before June of 2024.
The project is expected to cost 280 million Tanzanian shillings.
Permanent Secretary for Ministry of Community Development, Gender, Women and Special Groups, Dr. Zainab Chaula, says a total of 83 universities and colleges across the country have established gender desks. The desk aims at controlling acts of violence related to gender in the areas. Dr. Zainab directs all universities in the country to have gender desks by December 2023. Here, it's a report by Kurotho Mudunda, read by Faida Ngaga.
The training on establishment and operation of gender desks to the university's chancellors in Dar es Salaam, aiming to raise awareness among the management of the universities, and a call is made to make sure the desks bring positive results. Here, the Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Community Development, Gender, Women and Special Groups explains the importance of the desks in universities and colleges.
So we are here because we have a policy and the guidelines on how to prevent these issues at schools, at the Higher Learning Institute, but also at open spaces. Since it is inaugurated or launched by Prime Minister way back in November 2021, we have only 36 registered desks to this Higher Learning Institute. That's why today we decided to call upon all this middle and higher learning institute to call their leaders and those who are responsible for coordinating this to discuss how best we can launch, we can establish, but how to operate.
And here, some of the principals of the colleges explain how the desks work in their institutions.
So actually, the students received the message very well, and some of them responded because they have also the WhatsApp and the like, that this establishment will help reduce, especially gender violence or offense from tutors, but likewise, if it originates from students themselves, it will help to reduce the incidences of gender violence, and therefore it also will help to reduce the stress, because there will be a place where they'll view out and air out their concern or whichever offense they receive from others.
Asante.
Yeah, asante.
I mean, a student to be involved through clubs, seminars, and I'm going to inaugurate officially this gender-based desk, so they can be heard their views, opinions upon issues involving sexual harassment and all corruption issues.
Apart from that, Dr. Chaula insists that the government continues to fight acts of violence in various ways, including initiating a campaign named Smaujata and Mtakuwa, whereby both have had a great contribution in controlling acts of violence in the society.
The Central Corridor Transport Facilitation Agency Executive Secretary Advocate Flori Okanjo says the agency has provided the Tanzania Shipping Agency in the country with 375 million shillings to finance the market research activities in Lake Victoria and Lake Tanganyika. Advocate Okanjo insisted that waterway transport can play a crucial role in developing business to Middle East countries and other African countries, including Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and DRC through Lake Victoria and the Tanganyika.
Mtendaji mkuu wa Marine Service, kweli Tanzania ni mnachama wa Central Corridor ama ushoroba wa kati.
As the chief executive of the Marine Service said earlier, it is true that Tanzania is the member of the Central Corridor, and within the Central Group, we have 5 members: Tanzania, Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Burundi, and Uganda. Marine Service, as well as Tanzania, deserve to get support from the Central Corridor, as they are our important stakeholders. The agreement will last from 2 to 3 years, and the goal is to get training, marketing, and communication. It started in 2020, and as the chief executive said earlier, our goal is to aim higher, as long as we are provided with necessary needs, and we will do our best to support the Marine Service. I asked the chief executive to consider that the money given is for the Marine Service and Central Corridor will not be involved. But I insist he should be given cooperation with executives and experts from the Central Corridor.
For his part, Marine Service Company Limited, MSCLC, Managing Director Eric Hamisi has expressed his sincere gratitude to the Central Corridor institution.
Zinatoka kwa mdau wa maendeleo ambayo Tanzania ni mwanachama.
This money comes from a development partner where Tanzania is a member, and it is an opportunity to do great things with the Central Corridor. To begin with, the Central Corridor has supported the Marine Service with 375 million shillings, and we are to sign an agreement with the MO today. As a legitimate member, our task is to facilitate trade in the Middle East. Tanzania can be a major participant due to its ability to facilitate other countries from the port through the railway and the water to transport cargoes. I would like to thank Central Corridors on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Marine Service Company Limited for the support you have shown us. We believe that it is going to increase as we make a revolution in the freedom of transport.
The agency will provide facilitation worth $72,000 equivalent to more than 165 million shillings in order to cover market research activities. This agreement is a continuation of the previous contract signed in September 2020, where about 132 employees benefited in various ways, including the renewal of seaman certificates, where the agreement comes after the Central Corridor Institute, together with the Marine Service Company Limited in the country, signed a cooperation agreement that will last for a period of 3 months. Research by local and international agriculture stakeholders shows that commercial farming in the country has increased. Soumu Mavura reports.
Conference on Food and Local Agriculture and Nutritional Diversity has brought together stakeholders and researchers from different countries around the world to discuss, sharing experience, evaluate, and to set strategies to harmonize the food that is cultivated and nutrition in the community.
We are here in Zanzibar at the launching of the Food Rend project. This project centers upon food production and the consumption of food. Many projects usually focus on either production or consumption separately.
Professor Susan Nchimbi is the coordinator of the Foodland project from Sokoine University for Agriculture, says this project has involved stakeholders from 13 countries in the world.
But we want to have a different experience here in Zanzibar. And we know that Zanzibar is somehow different, and especially on food diversity. So we want to share this experience of food diversity that is here in Zanzibar. People are eating so many types of food, and we really want to have that, to have a feel that what kind of food people in Zanzibar consume. But we also want to share the experience that we have gained in this project in mainland with our colleagues in Zanzibar.
The African countries participating in the meeting are Kenya, Uganda, Tunisia, Morocco, and Tanzania. Soumu Mavura, TBC, Zanzibar.
Acting Director of the Directorate of Creative Property of the Business Registration and Licensing Agency, Brela Seka Kasera, urges business community to use technology to protect their innovative patent to reduce dispute over trademarks, a situation that will stimulate economic development. He was given the training to business community that aims at increasing their ability to protect their creativity rights. He insists that when the product is protected, it stimulates competition and protects the country's economy.
When we speak of an industrialized Tanzania, we should speak of trademarks. These business people should sell their products with trademarks. This means the products should have logos. There are many innovations being done in these industries. Therefore, they should protect their innovation with the patents. Also, the Kariakoo business people who are also doing business at a high capacity should take into consideration these patents. This will reduce business conflicts, especially in fighting for business names.
On their part, some traders say that the seminar will help them to protect their rights.
Have an understanding of better ways of trademarking our businesses and products. Also, it has helped us understand the steps to take once someone has copied your products.
We have had so many challenges especially because most businesses, people at Kariako, have been opening up small industries. This issue of understanding their rights have been a challenge. Also, partnership have been a challenge, especially partnership with foreign companies.
That item concludes local news tonight. International news is up next.
TBC1, ukweli na uhakika.
Namibia and Zimbabwe will continue to identify strategic areas of cooperation to strengthen bilateral relations. Blanches Gorgeous reports from Namibia.
Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa's special envoy delivered a letter in this regard to President Hage Geingob at the family farm Hadaloa. Namibia and Zimbabwe have a number of bilateral cooperation agreements and also in multilateral platforms. The special envoy, Air Marshal Elson Moyo, says President Mnangagwa's letter to Dr. Geingob emphasizes just that.
We are trying to strengthen the relationships between Zimbabwe and Namibia. So it's really part of the growing of the relationship between our two countries. Well, it's mainly the cooperation which we are having both at the regional level and the continental level.
The areas of strategic cooperation would still be identified alongside the existing ones. President Geingob welcomed what he termed a special message from his counterpart, as well as the well-wishes for the year ahead.
The private sector in Mauritius will invest more than $710 million towards implementation of 33 projects over the next 3 years. The manufacturing sector, tourism, health, and the blue economy are the main sectors concerned. Netusha Jeha reports from Mauritius.
The Prime Minister Pravin Kumar Jugnauth took note of the main points of these 33 projects. They will be spread over a period of 3 years. The high-level committee on investment facilitation also met to take note of the necessary permits before launching these projects. The contribution of the various ministries was also solicited.
Nous passons en revue 33 projets.
33 projects amounting to 31 billion rupees over 3 years have been reviewed. They concern the manufacturing sector, tourism, real estate, health-related projects, as well as the ocean economy. There are many projects that have been fast-tracked, all these in line with the revival of the economy. Every day, week or month that an investor loses during delays in obtaining permits for instance, land conversion, environmental impact assessments, building and land use permits, is money that they lose. Thus, at the level of Economic Development Board, it is very important that investors and authorities do not waste time. The high-level committee, under the chairmanship of the Prime Minister, has given the possibility to accelerate projects.
The total investment for last year was around 110 billion rupees, with 88 billion rupees invested by the private sector. Thus, public-private collaboration is essential to boost post-pandemic economic recovery.
That was international news. Sport news is up next. And here is sport news with Malio Cheto.
Sports news today. Women have been urged to engage themselves in sports and use it as one way to generate self-employment in the country. Speaking during the opening ceremony of ladies' first athletics competition to be held at the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium over the weekend, JICA representative to Tanzania, Maofomi Yamamura, asks women participants to showcase their talents and use the opportunity to generate income for themselves.
The advantages of the series of the Ladies First are not far-fetched. The event has these advantages. Number one, provide opportunity for women athletes to achieve gender equality. Number two, encourage sports promotion and development of physical education in Tanzania. Number three, sport is employment. Using this opportunity, young girls can rediscover their talents and use the immense opportunities that are in sport.
Those young athletes, they should train hard and win easy. And I say, if they train hard and win easy, when they go to the major competition, as I mentioned them, it's easy for them to bring the medal. Preparation is vital. The will to win is nothing without the will to prepare. If we want to win, we should prepare ourselves. How do we prepare? Is such a program like Ladies First.
Female athletics from 29th region have confirmed to participate in the competition planned to kick off over the weekend at the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium in Dar es Salaam. Tanzania amateur boxers participating in international friendly boxing competition taking place at the Indo National Stadium in Dar es Salaam says the competition have given them new skills and experience in international competitions. Speaking after close contest bout, two promising talented boxers told the TBC reporter that their dream one day is to win medals at the Olympic competition.
I always play to the ultimate guard, and I also train very hard, so I'm prepared to face any opponent in this ongoing competition. And if it happens I have to fight against a Kenyan in the final match, I'm sure I will defeat him.
My dream is to play at Olympic competition in the future, and if I will get that chance, I will play very hard because my aim is to bring golden medal to Tanzania.
Abdullah Maganga from JKT defeated Abdul Razak Hamisi by anonymous decision from all 5 judges. Malio Cheto, TBC Sports News.
Whenever I'm seeing boxing, I'm seeing Mandonga. And that marks the end of News Bulletin for tonight. Thank you very much for watching once again. I am Kefa Igilo. Good night.